Good morning, everyone. It is Monday, June 21st, and this is my first episode of Discover Joyous Love post-pandemic. I was doing the Discover Joyous Love on Mondays back before we got into the pandemic, so I'm picking up again now as life is coming back to a little bit more normalcy and we're all out there ready to roll. So today, now, Discover Joyous Love is a topic that's a very broad topic, and I'll be coming to you either live on Facebook or through a video and then just uploading it. So either way, you'll get to see it throughout the day on Mondays. But one of the things that I wanted to get into talking about today with my theme, Discover Joyous Love, which is a broad theme, and there's so much weight that carries, that statement, Discover Joyous Love. It's not love only in romance or love with your family, but it's just love in general. Exercising and cultivating the emotion of love as you go throughout your day. Now, I noticed that today we're going to be talking about, we're going to compare love and hate. And what is the difference? And why do some people operate from this anger, this discharge, this hate? And everything they do, they dislike. There is no congruency. So to have love in your life, and even if you want to have a good relationship with someone, or better love with your parents and your relatives and your children, it's important to harness and understand that this emotion is very pure, it is very divine, and it's very delicate. So I'm calling my work now, it is Tantra Wisdom, but I also have Divine Love Transformation. And this is what it's really about, what we're coming into, this divineness, this sacredness that has uplifted and surfaced within our world. So what I wanted to bring to you right now is why? Here's a question. Why do you hate so much? Why do you use the word I don't like, I hate all day long? So a better way of phrasing that would be I like, or you don't have to actually like something, but the more we like, the more we extend our heart to open. And when the heart opens, greater things come for you. More magical things happen. Better jobs come. You meet more positive people. So the more you open up the heart, that is the love energy. Doesn't mean you have to be in love. Now, a lot of people fear love. It is a thin line, love and hate. But this thinness there that happens is, you choosing. So we can choose where we want to be. Do you want to be here in the good side, or do you want to be in the mud? So it's a choice. Love is a choice. Happiness is a choice. When you have more love about things in life, you love getting up, you love taking the trash out, you love taking your children to school even though they're yelling and screaming, you love going to work every day, right? You love it. So even if you can just feed yourself, it's the word you feed yourself, just a few more sentences with I like, I love, you will find that you will have longer lasting relationships. You will have better relationships in all areas of your life, not just romance. So this is really not about romance. This is more or less about the relationship to life and the relationship to your feelings. So on that note, and I'm only going to be here, like I said, live with you or through video on Mondays, Discover Joyous Love. And you can inbox me because I'm offering, of course, psychotherapy, love and relationship coaching. I'm a love and relationship coach. I'm offering counseling. So whatever it is, somatic work, I do a lot of somatic work, indulging into the embodiment of your soul and helping you to open up to that greater depth of your reality. What is your reality? That will be another topic for us. I can go on and talk, but I did make a few notes here about some of the things that I just want to get into. So now one of the things I wanted to say is celebrating life, right? Celebrating love and practicing versus hate. So being with people that celebrate you rather than tolerate you. So I find that sometimes we're in a world and we choose people We may be vulnerable, we may have fears, we may have a low self-worth, we may not know how to surrender, we may be in denial. The character may be holding grudges of sadness, of trauma and pain from childhood, from whatever. So we choose friends that don't honor us, or they don't respect us, or better yet, they just tolerate you. So what we want to work with is to choose your friends or your acquaintances, people that celebrate you, that honor and support everything about you. They don't belittle you, they don't dismiss you, but they respect and support whatever it is that you are into at the moment. They may not like it, and they don't have to like it. Again, that is their problem, because then they're going to operate from hate. But if they do show a like, it shows that they are connecting their heart to your heart. And that is what intimacy is. It's about the sacred space that we live in. It's about this cultivating sacred space wherever you go, with whomever. Not necessarily, again, does it have to be a significant other, but just cultivating this sacredness. Now, let me get here. So, hate and love are the polar opposites. Love carries a happiness, and hate carries envy and destruction and violence. So the more that we cultivate and hate, the more that we become destructive, self-destructive. As a matter of fact, people that operate from the hate attitude, the hate energy, they have a lot more things such as addictions in life and a low self-worth. But there's work that can be done, and this is the work I do. I do Dr. Wilhelm Reich's work. It's Reichian therapy. I do somatic therapy, psychotherapy, love and relationship coaching for the single person, the couples. And what it is that we learn to embody and feel what it is that's keeping us separated from the heart. What is keeping you separated from your heart? Let's take a moment and think about that. Let me get back to my notes for you. It's always good to have notes sometimes. So approaching love with life. If you can hate, you certainly can love. And I know it's a fearful emotion, and it's scary and vulnerable. But there is that thin line. So you have to find that balance. Again, there's that sacred balance, cultivating that space, the inner temple, the body. If you love and it's not returned, there's no need to become that person. Now, I find people, they're tit for tat. Well, if you spit on me, I'm going to spit on you. If you did this to me, I will do that to you. That sounds like we're 16 years old, right? But guess what? We are 16 years old because those memories are still conditioned in the body. And all of these years can go by and people will still take on the negative personality of their friend because they did it to them, they want to do it back. It's all about this spitefulness, about political correctness, having right from wrong. But what is the potential in this? There is nothing. There is no potential there. So what I'm asking you to do, or at least try on in your emotional sheath, in your emotional character, is if someone dislikes you, show them more love in return. By liking them, complimenting them, whatever it is, in an effort to encourage their heart to open. And an empowerment of the soul is where you want to come from, but it takes work to get there. You know, I've done this divine love transformation my entire life. It's been my total recovery. Never had addictions of any kind, but my recovery was just from growing up in such a family where they didn't understand what love was. Yet my parents loved me, and there was love, but no one knew how to show it. No one knew how to do it. No one knew how to have a handle on it or own it. And so that's what I'm all about, is love, is wanting to be honest. Love is an honest emotion. It's so destructive at times in our lives, especially when there's romance involved and one hurts the other, betrayal, and things of that nature. But when you hold this love in a high reverence, and you are congruent with your own feelings, and you're congruent in sharing, you have this harmony, this agreement about what it is, the value of it, you really could go no wrong, but it takes time to get there. So growing up in a family where love was there, but no one knew how to show it. No one knew how to really express it. And that's a whole nother topic, expressing love. It doesn't mean I love you, I'm in love. It just means like, you're a great person. And smiling is also a love energy, just smiling for someone. Did you ever walk down the street and you might see a homeless person there, and you walk by and you smile, and they may say, oh, you made my day. You know, homeless people do talk. And you know, that means you shared a little bit of love. And this is where I want, the world I want to be in more of. Let me come back here now. So it's okay. Don't do the tit for tat thing. If someone doesn't like you, please like them back. Don't become them. You're taking on their poison. It's okay to love and not be loved back, right? But to hate is where you lose that higher power and self-worth. So if we dismiss ourselves to hate, we are depleting the higher power that you think you're working toward or climbing that ladder. So when you diminish your spirit, your soul sinks, and you have to continually undo yourself, unbury yourself. So I'm here to tell you, I'm your guru, Anita. Discover joyous love. It is there in your body, in your heart. Wake up to it. I just love to love. I just love to love. I love loving someone, anyone, people. And I know there's so much anger and pain in our hearts, and a lot of us have come through a lot of things in life. But you know, you can save yourself, and you can find those moments of joy, those moments of bliss, those moments of happiness, because they're there. So you don't always have to be in a dismissal state of disapproving yourself or someone who may have disapproved of you growing up, or whatever your experiences were. It's okay. It's okay. Okay, so another thing, the word hate. Let's remove that from the vocabulary. So hate is a negative word. It's a crutching word. It's a destructive word. Maybe just say, well, you know, I dislike, say you're car shopping. You want to buy a new car. Well, I like that car, but I hate that car. When people use that word hate, it's like anger is beneath the belly button. It is way down there in the root chakra, and they are stuck in anger. And so their way of trying to express it or wanting to bring it out is just directing the word hate to any objective materialistic thing out there, or even people. Oh, I hate the way she eats, or I hate the way she walks or he walks. But if you can find and see love, now you've got to empathize. You know, it takes a little empathy, folks. I'm a little bit of an empath, but a boundary, one with boundaries. So when you use your words, use them wisely. I dislike that, but it's certainly nice, but it's not for me. So there's certain ways to phrase things, because the words we express out there are the words that become the collective energy that you bring back into you. You eat those words. It's collective. So you're putting it out to the universe. Love is an action more than anything, and can take away your personal freedom. It cannot, really. It is an action, and it is something that you do. It is the way you are driven. It is the way you are directed. So we have to tap into the lower chakra. We must tap into that part of ourselves that says, it's okay. It's really okay. And just laugh it off. I mean, it's taken me a long time in my life to get to this point, practically my whole life, but I am so in awe of it. And please don't come in, anyone, and crush my orbit. Don't come in and crush my success. My success is not money or fame. It is the fame and money of my riches in my body, of what I've accomplished with my higher power, the transformation of that. Meeting someone halfway is practicing love, not hate. So again, you work in an environment where you have to work with other people, and everyone has differences. There's adaptation, there's adjustment, even in relationships with your parents, with your children. Everyone has their own thing and are their own being. So let's honor that. Acceptance, that will be another topic. Okay, so here we are, divine love, transformation, and my theme is discover joyous love. Vulnerable equals practicing love. So when you are vulnerable, you are undoing layers. And this vulnerability is not anything to be embarrassed or shameful about, but it is something to look at and hold it for a moment. Give it space. Give it a moment. Give it its time for either venting or expressing or nourishing, but give it a space. So this thin line, when the leaf turns from love to hate, sometimes we become split, or hate to love. Well, if it turns from hate to love, then your split is being healed and nourished. Now, some people have a split, what we call a split, that you're split from the body, mind, spirit. It's an alignment that you have with your somatic body, your physical body, your emotional body. And when this split occurs, when the leaf turns from love to hate, it's really difficult to get back to where you were. And it takes a lot of work. And sometimes the split is so severe in the human condition, the human body, that, and especially depending on the age of the person, there may be no turning back. So, and that could be suicidal. That could be wherever it takes that person, or destructive, or into something that maybe they become, addicted to things, or maybe they just stop loving themselves. And believe me, if that leaf turns, you have stopped loving yourself. So this is the key word, self-love. Opening up your emotions to your own feelings, not to his or her feelings. Your feelings. Where are your feelings? Emotions need harmony to balance. So love is the sacred, and it can be fearful. We have limitations. We have resistances. So part of the personality, the character that is in resistance, that is constantly like creating unhealthy boundaries. You need boundaries, but you don't need all of these resistances that get in the way of the opportunity and the courage and the empowerment of the heart to open and say, I love the universe. I love people. And the smile will be so authentic, so genuine. Please send me that picture when you get it. Hate is easy. It is easy to hate. To get to love, one must pass hate. So let's get on that, the Monopoly board? Pass hate. Getting to love is a challenge and a struggle and a success. Love requires compassion, empathy. Hate is a stuck ego. Please get that ego dissolved, folks. I'm tired of these stuck egos where people live in this part of them that is not even a higher power, and it is so disconnected from the body, the somatic body. I'll give you a little bit more and then we'll call it a day, folks. We are born with an ego, but we must learn compassion. So at birth, you have an ego. You're born innocent. But how do we learn empathy? How do we learn compassion? How do we learn love? By demonstration, by what we are shown, by our role models in life. But if you don't have the proper role models, you certainly can seek that in the world. There are many communities. There's much help out there for all of us to come into what we call the sacred space of love. So on this Monday, June 21st, Discover Joyous Love is our topic. I just want to leave you with, be with those who celebrate you and not tolerate you. Be with the love that you are gifted with and that you deserve. And let's take a breath on that. I am Anita DeFrancesco, and you can find me on my YouTube, all of my things on Facebook. Inbox me for Philadelphia in-person counseling and love and relationship coaching and Tantra. And also, Tantra is the love and relationship coaching, Tantra wisdom. And also for virtual sessions, I'm available for that. Thank you for tuning in. Discover Joyous Love.